Hello, welcome. My name is Shelley Karpati. I'm a writer and mindfulness teacher, and I've been exploring the element of cacao. It is a ceremonial chocolate drink that I received um, from this company called Aura, and I wanted to share it with you. So, oftentimes people use this cacao. There's a ceremony to invoke something that they would like to remember or honor. And because it was the spring equinox just a few days ago, I really wanted to tie it with that. So I'm coming to you here from um, Palm Springs, Coachella Valley. And I am honored to be here in this beautiful space at Lavender Soul Studio. So, the spring equinox that just happened on the 21st means that it's an opportunity for things that have been dormant all winter long to begin to bud and spring into new life again. And so, I believe that we all have an opportunity to begin again. And with these practices of mindfulness and the cacao, it's a perfect way combination to do that. So first, I always like to start my sessions with a surrender card, and it's just a beautiful way to remember. Oh, and that's the. Oh, why did you come out? That doesn't happen so fast. Usually, it's usually an opportunity for us to surrender to something that and I brought my dog Lucy with me today. It's an opportunity for us to remember that we have to release the tight grip of how we want things to be. And it's a lesson that I'm learning again and again, especially as a writer and guide for people in today's very tumultuous, chaotic world. um, I keep leaning on to these practices. So today's surrender card is surrender worry. And it says, make a commitment not to lead an anxiety driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that spirit is guiding you always. So I'll show you that picture. She's on a swing, playfulness and light and free, and she's wearing a white skirt like I am for the lightness of spring. And I appreciate that so much. So I just going to say thank you to the divine for bringing that surrender card to me today. Um, and so I also wanted to share with you a poem that I thought was really beautiful for today and right now. I like to bookend my sessions with poetry because I am a writer, after all. So, first, the poem called Change by James Cruz. Change is something we can always depend upon, everything is impermanent. No matter how painful the change, let yourself become a new creation. Do you think the maples push out their red buds each spring without an ache in the skin of their limbs? Do you think the marsh ferns unfurl without effort, without missing the selves they once were, each frond like a newly feathered wing, reaching up into this uncertain air we all breathe together? We are all breathing the same air, and we're on this planet Earth together. This planet Earth, this Mother Earth that is providing for us all the time as we breathe each breath, giving and receiving life itself. We cannot forget the mother. The mother is always giving unconditional love to us. And so, with that, I'm going to take my cacao that I've made and take my first sip Maybe you have some drink as well. So this cacao is heart opening. It is something from the earth. And so I give gratitude to Mother Nature and the earth for providing this heart opening cacao. And as it goes down into my body, I feel it going down my throat, and it's warm and it's delicious. And Lucy wants some, but she's not going to get any. So I think that so we can also remember the four elements um, we have that are always co-creating with us. I mean, we know that air, like the air that we breathe, fire, fire that ignites the flame within to that drives us, that keeps us going. I personally have a lot of fire in my makeup, being a Sagittarius, and also my spiritual name is Durga. Lots of fire with her because it is an opportunity for us to do something, to take action. And I know that a lot of us feel helpless. And so there is good action, there is right action. In Buddhism, we can take right action and from a grounded perspective, from a grounded place, we can take action. So that really helps us with the element of fire. Um, Lucy can't have this. Um, and so there's air and there's fire, and then there's water, right? Was it something like over 80% of our bodies are made up of water. And that's the same with the earth. Water keeps things fluid and moving, and it's clear. And I like to imagine the stream going down, just doing its thing. If you can think about in your mind's eye, the clear waters that move around the rocks and the sticks, always just doing its thing. And so being in flow. So that's something that we can take from the cacao to open our hearts to that water element with air, earth, air, fire, water. So take a deep breath. And Lucy is trying to bite a fly. So let's take a few minutes and walk in refuge with one another and in beauty with nature as our companion, because we walk with the guidance and support of each of the teachings. And um, the Buddha's teachings is really a refuge for me and my students, because it is ever evolving. I've learned many of the practices, but when I hear the stories again and again from my teachers, they always hit differently. So, because the inside changes. And so we have to be the change that we wish to see in the world. And that is our greatest gift, is to live life from an open-hearted, compassionate place. Life is so much better that way. So take another sip, and to walk in refuge in Buddhism and understanding that we come to this meaning of life and our motivation, our commitment to ourselves, to be devoted. This is the practice. This goodness, we do have this inherent goodness. And when we do these practices, we remember that inherent goodness that bubbles up from the inside. And We doesn't, it doesn't, we can take all of the classes that we want. We can get all the certifications. We can listen to as many videos and read as many books as we want. But when we get quiet, it is the wisdom that we have within that rises up. So everyone has that goodness, that basic goodness, but the meditation practice helps us to remember and get us there. So, with that, thanks for coming, and we can sit together online on the first Sunday of every month. I offer a 30-minute session, and you can subscribe to my Spicy Soul Mama Substack to get those updates. The link will be in the description. But let's end today's little session with um, joy, with a poem from Mary Oliver, because joy is our birthright, despite our many challenges that we may have. So, Joy by Mary Oliver, well, it's called Don't Hesitate. If you suddenly and unexpectedly feel joy, don't hesitate. Give in to it. There are plenty of lives and whole towns destroyed or about to be. We are not wise and not very often kind, and much can never be redeemed. Still, life has some possibility left. Perhaps it's its way of fighting back that sometimes something happens better than all the riches or power in the world. It could be anything, but very likely you notice it in the instant when love begins. Anyway, that's often the case. Anyway, whatever it is, don't be afraid of its plenty. Joy is not to be made a crumb. So thank you for joining me today. I wish you joy and to remember your goodness and to cultivate your own inner wisdom, however you may do that. Namaste.